nothing bothers me more when someone who's in great shape, someone's a big guy, I've been doing this for a while, is an asshole to someone just starting. And it happens all the time here at UCSB. And there's nothing more I love than, and I call it humbling them, and I don't actually do that, but like in the few times where someone was rude to like my roommates, right, who had just started lifting weights, they're, soaking wet, like 140 pounds. Some douchebag in like a fucking Gymshark stringer is rude to them. They're like, oh, you can't have the bench. It's like they're only putting on 185 pounds on bench all the time. Yeah, because dudes are fucking assholes.
Insane. I feel like the I've never seen that a lot. Like it's
weird that you guys don't. Yeah, like UCLA, like doesn't happen.
And I would say the gym culture here is really big. Like the gyms are always fucking packed. And the people here at least are like super nice. Like they always let you work. Even like the really fit people always let you work.
It is interesting.
Yeah, it depends.
It's weird because I feel like we've had a different problem with that. And like I didn't go with my friends much to the gym just because it was just I had my own regiment and they had their own. But whenever someone was rude to them, like nothing makes me angrier than when people do that, right? Like there is no reason for you to be rude to someone who's waiting on you or be an asshole or make them wait longer than you have to. Like get your workout, get the fuck out of their way and be kind to them about it. Like, so one of those things is like if someone was being rude to them, like they're like, I'm like, what are you guys waiting on? Like, oh, we need a bench. And it's like, oh, this guy's hogging. He's on a 6th thing. It's like either if I had my staff thing, I'd be like, no, like, come on, man, you got to share. Or if I was working out with them, like the few times I did, it's like, okay, well, if he's doing 185, all right, well, I'll hop in line. I'll be like, oh, how much you got? And he's like, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'll be like, oh, no, throw on a 45. I got to warm up. And it's like, I'm going to smoke him and make him look like an asshole because if you're going to talk down to people like that, you deserve to be put in your place because you're a douchebag and you have no right to talk down to someone like that. And it was one of those things where I love like putting people like that in their place because you have absolutely no right to be rude to people like that, right? There is no reason for you to be an asshole to guys like my buddy Teo, right? He's a nice guy. He just asked politely how many sets you have left and you told him to fuck off. So at that point, someone deserves to humble you because you're being a douchebag.
What the fuck is happening?
I think I would throw hands. I would be like, first I'd be like, what the hell? Like that is not even close.
No, it's insane. And it's like, it doesn't happen often, but the few times it does, it's one of those things where I'm like, you're a douchebag and truly someone deserves to come and put you in your place because when you treat other people like that, it's like, you deserve to be treated that same way. And it's one of those things where I don't understand why you would be rude to someone like that. Like one of my things is whenever I see someone waiting on a bench and like, again, I've been doing this for a long time. Like I'm up there in the like mid to high 250s. Like if I see someone waiting, I'm just going to finish my set really quick. I'll like signal to them, be like, hey, I got one more. And like, it's yours. And like, I'm not going to make them wait. Like I'm not going to be sitting there on fucking TikTok scrolling around. Like, especially if you're benching like a plate and some other person's waiting, offer to let them in. If you're on TikTok, offer to share. Like everyone's got time. Everyone's got places to be. Like, or nobody's got time actually, but the point being is like I hate the culture, and that's one of the reasons why I gave up bodybuilding. Because like when I went to my show, one of my big things that I had problems with competitors, right, was that it was their whole life, and like if you spend every single day focused on how big are my muscles and what am I going to eat today, that just kind of sounds like a really boring life. And like not to be sure, like I want intellectual stimulation, but like there was no stimulation to it. It's like there's only so many like days of cardio you can do, only so many reps of bench you can do, and like. Don't you want to be able to read or talk about things or like have any other hobbies? Like, you know what I mean?
No, this is all they do.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
and it's like, if you want that's fine.
Like, but like, just don't be a dick to other people.
Well, exactly.
You are just like getting started and getting into it.
That's disgusting behavior. Like I wish there was like a revolt against that because people that do that are just the worst. And it's like, I hate that. It's truly my biggest gripe. And anytime I see it, it's like, dude, my blood goes red. I don't know why. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't get it. What's the point of being rude to somebody? Like if you're standing in someone's way, like be polite, let them in. If someone wants the bench, like offer to let them work in. Like, and if they compliment you, be nice. Don't be like a douchebag. Be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like don't be an asshole. Like I hate gym culture for that. And like, I'm glad to hear UCLA is better than that because it happens here, not a lot, but when it does, nothing makes me angry.
It's like so different because my biggest complaint at most is like the most rude thing, the rudest thing that I've ever seen, which is like nothing compared to you, is me asking like, how many more sets do you have? And then they're like, I got like 3 or something. And then I'm like, oh, can I work in? And then they're like, no. And I'm like,
wait, wasn't it a girl who did that to you? Or
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's happened once, but I'm like so surprised, and that's like nothing compared to yours. So like,
well,
I guess,
and that's similar. It's that same vein of like, what makes your reps or sets so special that I can't work in? Like, I also have a place to be, and like I would get it, you know, if it's like you have to adjust the whole rack or something.
It could be like anxiety too, like
sure, but like,
I feel like
why
to kind of step in. I feel like it's a two-way street. I feel like at UCLA, right, we're a big ass school, right?
but we're small in acreage, right? We barely can fit
The
whatever.
smallest you've seen in terms of age.
I don't know if you saw BFit. BFit is literally like a closet, and then like what's it called? Wooden isn't much better, right?
Yeah.
Like the issue is you will walk in during prime time hours, and you have like 8 people waiting for benches, right?
Well, before it was worse because there's like four benches at Wooden for like 40,000 people, and then before there was like 4 squat racks, and now there's like 8 or something.
Yeah.
Like sophomore year, it was like absurd. I was like, "What the hell is like this place?" Like,
I think the worst thing that's happened to me at Wooden was it wasn't necessarily something like that. Like I was in the front of the line and I saw these 2 dudes. They're both powerlifters, right? They have like a little piece of like fabric, you know, that you put on like tables or in closets to kind of create that friction between their back.
Oh, yeah.
Like they don't use chalk because it's like makes a mess. And at Wooden, they're super weird about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then they had all their equipment, right? And it was literally 2. They're both friends, right? Because I see them like spotting each other, and one guy's doing a plate and the other guy's doing a plate. And I'm just like looking and I'm like, you guys clearly fucking know each other. Just finish the workout and go. And we literally waited for the 3rd guy who then left. We finished our set and they're still not done. And it's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
it's like super frustrating because like, I feel like personally, I've seen like gym etiquette where people think they're super entitled, but also like, you know, we were talking about the whole social media thing. I think social media has made it more prominent. Like, I don't
100%,
know, like,
yeah.
I don't know if you watch Joey Swole. I'm like, I kind of like him. Like, it's not like I'm not like crazy over him, but like sometimes like people like they'll put their like tripods around. They're like, oh, I own this place. Like, no, you don't. And you look the same as everybody else. You know, you're doing the same shit. But and then it's like it also goes back to like when we were talking about Sam Sulek. Sam Sulek was popular. People kept copying him, and they're thinking they're Sam Sulek, but they're not. You know.